Hi Leo, welcome back to my channel, Karma Fox. I am doing your monthly reading for February. I hope everybody's well. I do want to take a second to remind you that this is a general reading. It may not resonate with every Leo out there. So guys, just take what resonates for you and leave the rest for someone else. We're going to start with your current energy, Leo, and then we're going to look at February, week by week up until the end of February. These are predictions that go several weeks into the future. So if it's not occurring right now, you might want to jot it down because it could very well occur in the next few weeks. Spirit, can I have the energy of the sign of Leo? What would you like Leo to know for this February reading? Leo. All right, Leo. So you are starting out with the Six of Wands in the reverse, and it is crossed by the Eight of Cups. So there's a situation that was unsuccessful that you've walked away from. In the past, you have the Magician. So you've been manifesting. I do feel like this was a manifested connection, but something here didn't feel like it was coming together. Whatever it is that you were manifesting, you felt like it just wasn't coming together. It wasn't happening. And at some point, you made a decision to walk away from that. Let me see why all this is happening. Show me why all this is happening for Leo. Oh. Six of Cups. You could be dealing with a soulmate. Yeah. There's something to do with a soulmate. There's good memories here. There is the return of the past, possibly. Let me see what's on your mind. Show me what's on Leo's mind. The Tower. So you're thinking of a situation. This is why you feel like things aren't successful. Something here was destroyed because it was not built on a solid foundation. And it caused a lot of distress in your life. It was like a big storm, a huge storm. And it was painful. So you haven't forgotten that. You haven't forgotten that at all. It's definitely on your mind. You might be trying to avoid another Tower moment as well. Let me see what's happening in February for Leo. Okay, we have the Two of Wands reversed, a decision being made. Be careful because if you have travel plans in February, they might not go through. But yeah, you may feel that somebody walked away from you. They chose to go in another direction. And you may have been manifesting this person because you feel that they're a soulmate. And I do feel that you feel like it's not working. It's not coming together the way you want it to. Now, you're showing up as the Hermit in the reverse. So you pulled back. After this Tower moment, you pulled back. You went within. You were looking for answers, searching for answers, particularly about emotional aspects. You were also trying to find the light within yourself. And I do feel like you're coming out of that energy now. There's possibly communication here. Let's see who's coming towards you, Leo. The Nine of Swords. So the person coming towards you, I feel like this is somebody who has been experiencing a lot of anxiety and worry. They've been losing sleep. I will say, because in this particular card, see the lantern here? You found your answers. They also have the same lantern, but they haven't found their answers yet. And that's why they're feeling so much distress and anxiety. Spirit is in the form of this owl, has been reaching out to this person, has been trying to talk to this person, but it's almost like they cannot hear what Spirit is telling them. Let me see Spirit's advice for you. Show me Spirit's advice for Leo. All right, the Death card. There's a transformation. There's a transformation that's taking place here. It could be an ending, but it looks like a transformation. Show me the outcome. The Two of Pentacles, finding balance and having a decision to make, weighing up the pros and cons. So bottom of the deck is the Queen of Pentacles. This is underlying energy. You could be dealing with a Taurus, Virgo, or a Capricorn. But as an underlying energy, this does tell me that you're working at your own stability. You're very focused on self-care, your money, children if you have children, your home, your own stability. And I feel like you've kind of turned that focus towards you. So let me see. Let's clarify. Let me see why the Six of Wands is here for Leo. Okay, Judgment in the reverse. So you were trying to manifest a reconciliation and you feel like it hasn't been working out. This would be with somebody you walked away from or they walked away from you. I do feel like you may be questioning whether it's a good judgment call to be manifesting this person or trying to come back into connection with this person. You could be questioning yourself. Should you walk away from this entirely? We have the Empress in the reverse. Yeah, somebody not only walked away, but they walked away very disrespectfully. Yeah, they weren't nurturing the connection. They were not, whoever walked away wasn't nurturing the connection. There's a lot of disrespect here. And I do feel like you're kind of fed up with that. You're really fed up with that. You're questioning whether or not you should have ever been involved with this person. There's also a need here for you to look at your value, your self-worth. Make sure that you're honoring yourself, respecting yourself, and nurturing yourself. Let me see why the Magician is here. Show me the Magician for Leo. Yeah, the Two of Cups in the reverse. So what happened is that the two of you were not seeing eye to eye. And I do feel like this person was very disrespectful to you. And so that's where you're questioning your value and self-worth. So Leo, make sure that you are not allowing, you've done so much work with this Queen of Pentacles here into bringing your own stability in. Make sure you don't allow anybody to rock you out of that, because if somebody's inability to see your value, your self-worth, should not make you question it, okay? Let me see this Six of Cups. I do feel like you did have some really good memories with this person, but at some point, due to the disrespect, you weren't seeing eye to eye, and there was an ending. Ace of Swords. Wow. So yeah, this person from the past is going to reach out to you. It looks like there's going to be communication, and there's a lot of clarity that's here as well. So that's really good. I like seeing that at the base of your reading. Let's see what's on your mind. We have the Tower. So I feel like when this connection ended, it did cause a Tower moment for you. Yeah, it's attached to the Six of Wands reversed. And not only that, but the inability to bring this back together, to manifest it back together, is causing a Tower moment for you internally as well. So, and that's what's causing you to question yourself and question your value. Don't do that, Leo. Yeah, I mean, like I said, I can't say it enough. Just because someone else can't see your value doesn't mean that you have no value. It means that they're unable to see it. Let's look at February for you. Show me February for Leo. Show me February for Leo. All right, so we have the Five of Wands. We have the Knight of Pentacles reversed. Four of Pentacles. Seven of Wands, the Hangman, the Three of Cups, Ten of Wands, and the Emperor in the reverse. You could be dealing with a twin flame, because we have both the Emperor and the Empress out. But it might even, for some of you, this could be a false twin flame because they're both in the reverse. All right, so what I'm seeing here in the month of February, you go into the month of February and there's this energy of feeling a little down, feeling like you haven't, like this person may have chosen someone else over you. I do feel like there's, in the first week, there's a little bit of stuck energy. You could have some conflict with somebody, possibly this person that's in your energy, because it is somebody that you've been holding on to. So in the first week, I see some stuck energy. I see things not really moving forward, a little bit of stuck energy and conflict. In the second week of February, I feel like you could be carrying a little bit of a grudge about this conflict that I'm seeing. You're not letting that go. You've been waiting for a reconciliation with this person. This is someone you definitely have been holding on to. So I do feel like it is somebody here from your past that you had this ending with. You do feel this person is a soulmate. And so I feel like there's a little bit of defensive energy. There's more conflict that may occur around the middle of the month. However, now that could be internal conflict or external or both. However, in the third week, I see a reconciliation happening. It's what you've been waiting for. It's like you have kind of dug in your heels and you said, this is what I want, and I'm not backing down, and I'm willing to wait for this. And I do see that happening. I see you going out with family and friends, or family or friends. I see the energy of, basically it's an energy of reconciliation that's happening in the third week. However, by the fourth week, I see that this reconciliation is going to bring some problems. There's something here that is a little bit out of control. And it does appear to be the other person that you're dealing with could be very controlling. And that's going to introduce some problems here. There's something that is still out of control. It's not in the upright, And so I do see that. Now, I'm also seeing that you feel like it's not really your job or your place to take control of this other person's problems or issues. You may feel a little overwhelmed by the end of the month. So let's look at your energy. Show me Leo's energy in this reading. Hold on, that card fell. All right, we have the Nine of Pentacles reversed. We have the Eight of Wands reversed and the Tower in reverse. See, I told you, you're trying to avoid another Tower moment here. There is some codependent energy here. I feel like you're aware of that. See, the loss of this relationship really rocked you a bit. It caused that Tower moment. It caused you to kind of doubt yourself a little bit. I'm seeing that same energy where you really need to focus on your value, your self-worth, because those answers are within you, not within this relationship or within another connection. I do see that you are... aware of a lot of this. With the Hermit here in reverse, you've already discovered a lot of this. However, I also feel like you've really missed this person. And I feel like you're trying to prevent another Tower moment and also to rebuild yourself. So you're trying to simultaneously build yourself back up, possibly with somebody that's very controlling. And at the same time, you're trying to rebuild this connection. So you're blocking and averting this Tower moment, but it's coming at a cost. There's things here that are not being talked about. There's things here that need to be discussed. There needs to be a back and forth communication in order to, prevent a Tower moment somewhere down the road. It's almost like you're pushing the can down the road a little bit. But I feel like you are aware of it. Let's look at this person's energy. Show me the person who is coming towards Leo. Okay, so we have the Wheel of Fortune. That's good. We have the King of Pentacles. That's good. Your underlying energy is the Queen of Pentacles. We have the Six of Coins, and we have the Chariot in reverse. All right, so this person that's coming towards you, This is somebody who does want to change things, to put this on in a better, get things moving in a better energy. Now, you could be dealing, like I said earlier, with a Taurus, Virgo, or a Capricorn, possibly even a Cancer sign. But this is somebody who is willing to offer commitment. They want to balance this out. They want to equal give and take. They're coming towards you very generous. This is somebody who has been very stressed. They've been very worried, very upset. Ooh, they could be having some car trouble. Yeah, this person could be having some difficulty with their vehicle or something to do with travel. They might live at a distance from you, and that could be a problem. But I do see that this is somebody who does want to come towards you. They do want things on a better track, and they are willing to offer you commitment. This is also somebody who does work very hard. With this King of Pentacles here, this is someone who works really hard. And I do feel like they may have been a little over generous with someone else here, possibly related to work, and that could be causing them some difficulty, so that their money's not moving quite as quickly as they want it to. But this person does have a tendency to put the brakes on. They have a tendency, it's almost like they're like squirrely about things. In other words, they come at you, they're very generous, they're very loving, they're very kind, they're very devoted, and then all of a sudden they put the brakes on. And you're like, what the heck? I mean, they do it so quickly that your head is spinning. And it's because of their anxiety, their worries, their concerns. So let me look at Spirit's advice. Why is the Death card here in Spirit's advice for Leo? Why is the Death card here in Spirit's advice? All right, we have the Nine of Wands reversed. You have the Hierophant, and you have the Queen of Pentacles reversed, which is interesting because they're the King of Pentacles in the upright. Your underlying is the Queen of Pentacles in the reverse. So what this is saying is that there's a transformation that's trying to take place within a commitment. This can be resolved. It can be worked out, but you have to learn the lessons from the past. You have to, look at what has caused the instability. So it's definitely regarding some sort of a commitment here. There's an indication here that it is transforming, but if this person's not offering the commitment, if they're not coming to you in a grounded manner, that these things can't be overcome and that it will need to end at that point. So you're kind of at this road where, it's either going to end or it's going to transform. Now, can it be resolved? Yeah, there's trust issues here. I see that. I also see that there's an issue where you're not seeing things eye to eye, and it feels like you're kind of kicking that can down the road. You're not discussing it. Spirit is saying that, it could even require counseling, or it could require you receiving advice from somebody that you deeply respect, an elder, or, somebody that you feel is qualified to give you good advice. So I do feel like you're kind of at a crossroads here, Leo. You're either going to transform this and learn from the past, or it needs to be ended in order for you to regain your stability. So that's where we see this Two of Pentacles, and you weighing up the pros and cons. So let's look at that. Spirit, show me the outcome for Leo. All right, we have the Five of Swords. We have the Eight of Pentacles reversed. Yep, the person who walked away is returning. We have Justice, Libra energy, and we have the Knight of Cups in the reverse. All right, so I feel like you're going to have a decision, and you're going to be very conflicted about it. I also feel like there's significant conflict within this connection. A lot of it from the past that you're kind of not dealing with, and then there's going to be, that's going to lead to conflict in the current energy within the next month as well. So because this person doesn't fight fair, and there does seem to be some overly controlling energy, they can be very generous, don't get me wrong. I'm seeing really good energy, then I see them slam on the brakes here due to their own anxiety. And so there's a lot of things that need to be healed here. I do see that they are returning. I see internal conflict and I see external conflict with this person. However, with the Justice card here, I do feel like this person is trying to do the right thing. You know, when they slam on the brakes, it's because of their own anxiety. It's because of their own mistrust. I feel like it's almost this energy of them taking things out on you that are occurring in their life. And that seems terribly unfair, but that's what I see. And I also feel like they are trying to do the right thing. They literally are, with the Justice in the upright here. However, there could still be some hostilities, and that's why you're in this decision-making mode. Do I end this entirely, or do I work with this person, you know, in spite of the issues that are going on, in order to resolve it? I feel like most of you do want to resolve this, and that's why you're not actually dealing with the problems. You're kicking it down the road, and that's going to kick you in the behind later. So you need to find a way to work out conflict resolution with this person. You both need to be able to do that with this Ace of Swords, to be able to communicate clearly, honestly, and understand that neither of you are the problem. You're a team fighting the problem. Now, with the Knight of Cups here in the reverse, I do feel like you will kind of pull back emotionally with this person if they do come at you in a hostile manner. You're kind of not completely committing to the relationship, and it's because of the hostilities and the pullbacks. But I honestly feel like there is a really good chance here for this relationship to work out if you could both agree that you're on the same team. You're not the enemy of the other. You're on the same team, and then work together to resolve whatever is causing the conflicts. Bottom of the deck is the Four of Cups. That is underlying energy, and it does tell me that you've really been in this mode of self-care, focusing on self, focusing on your money, your job, your family, your home, and you've kind of been ignoring this person. You were almost to the point where you were saying, look, this is just not going to work out, and I need to, you know, just focus on other things right now. So I do feel that this person coming back in, even with all of their anxieties, etc., I do feel like it's a little bit of a surprise for you. But they legitimately do want to move this forward, and they are trying to do the right thing. So I can't fault them on that. It just feels like you're fighting each other instead of fighting the problem. All right, so I'm going to pull an oracle card, Leo, and see if we have further advice. All right, so you have number 27, and that is empowerment. Ooh, I like that. So give me a second, and I will read that for you. Within the realm of the Kitsune are beautiful ponds, still and tranquil, yet within them teems magical life. Amongst the beings who dwell there are the koi mermaids, who come to you now with their message of empowerment. You are becoming stronger, calmer, more staunch and clear in your purpose and message. And there is a direction you are now setting that will be reached. The koi mermaids help the koi to persevere, to meet their challenges with perseverance and courage, and a sense that every moment of dedication and learning will bring about the desired result. This is the card of the person who is moving towards a goal and even encountering setbacks. And so the koi mermaid comes to you to ask you to continue, to cheer you on, and to acknowledge that the heroic journey you are undertaking is indeed worthwhile. While you are so focused on this task or goal, Others around you see your work and are inspired in their own personal quest. You are beautiful in your tenacity, and every step of the way sees you grow. It may feel at times as though the flow of the stream is against you, but this is not a time to go with the flow. It is time to make your own way through the waters of life, even if others seem to be heading in a different direction. It is not time for the easy path. You will carve your own way through the waters, for you are on your way to great good fortune, prosperous times, and an enriched sense of what you are capable of. So there you go, Leo. Carve your own path here. I think you're doing well. I do feel like you've had some setbacks here, and you may be receiving advice to let this go, to this isn't something you need to be, focusing on. But I feel like you've set a goal for yourself here, and I feel like you will reach that goal. So you carve your own path and then go from there. I think it's beautiful energy, though. All right, I hope that this has been helpful for you. If you've resonated with this reading, be sure to hit the like button, hype the video if you get the opportunity, and subscribe to my channel. And until I see you in your next reading, Leo, know that you are love, and namaste.